The dream team of Chip and Joanna Gaines, fixer-upper, swept Waco, Texas, and turned rundown houses into beautiful showstoppers. But eventually, Chip and his wife went their own ways. A covert rivalry, health problems, artistic disputes, and even death were said to have occurred. A lot goes on behind the scenes, so what you see on camera is only a fraction of it. We will follow Chip's life story from his humble beginnings to his meteoric climb to television stardom, retracing the steps that made him the endearing character he is today. Over the years, Chip's life has been quite a ride, and it hasn't always been easy. He was affected in certain ways by the scandals that accompanied his rise to stardom. The musician Chip Gaines came into this world in Albuquerque, New Mexico on November 14, 1974. There wasn't much in his upbringing that hinted to his future path, but he did begin working on himself at a young age. Chip was able to hone his work ethic and entrepreneurial attitude during this time, which he used to prepare for what was to come. Chip explored a number of opportunities after graduating from high school. His family's relocation to Texas when he was a little kid gives us the information that he attended Baylor University in McLennan County. He dabbled in athletics while in college, but he quickly realized that it wasn't his thing. He had a background in construction and real estate, allegedly had his sights set on the sector, and had even flipped a few properties before meeting his soulmate, Joanna Gaines, in 2001. They met, and ever since then, they've spoken about how they want to promote their own brands while building incredible houses for other people. They hit it off the moment they crossed paths at Joanna's dad's auto repair business. Their encounter was all planned. When Joanna made her first appearance on television, it was in a commercial for her father's tire store. Chip was a regular customer at the shop. Their paths crossed, and they quickly became fast friends, using each other's strengths to expand their enterprises. The combination of Joanna's artistic abilities and Chip's knowledge of building was ideal. After getting married in 2003, they quickly realized that property flipping was their common interest. Eventually, they decided to make trading their full-time job, and they began to reap the rewards. Magnolia Homes, the real estate remodeling firm they co-founded, has now expanded into a multi-billion-dollar enterprise serving a wide range of clients. Take note, this happened a long time before they were involved with television in any way. Actually, they were spared the trouble of finding a producer and pitching their project. They let their work do the talking and highlight their ever-expanding fan following. Their company took off once they introduced fresh, original designs to consumers. They were always going for a more rustic, farmhouse look in their work, and it was beginning to gain popularity. Houses that stuck to their style sold better than the competition, proving that their impact extended beyond their clientele. Even before they started airing their show on television, Chip and Joanna had a thriving real estate firm in the Waco, Texas region, where they had previously flipped more than 100 properties. They intended to transform the town into a tourist hotspot for tourists from all over the world. They were noticed by HGTV executives due to their outstanding track record and apparent compatibility. They finally broke through in 2012 with the launch of Fixer Upper. They had enough momentum going after the 2013 release of the show's pilot to air the pilot episode in 2014. Even from the pilot, it was clear that many were captivated by the show's premise and eagerly anticipated the couple's future exploits of their rapidly increasing renown. Rather than being compelled to alter their actions to fit a certain storyline, the most appealing aspect of the arrangement was that they were just asked to bring their previous work to the program. Performing at a high level, they won over their adoring followers. In Fixer Upper, we followed the couple as they restored dilapidated homes in Waco and turned them into beautiful, family-friendly havens. The character of the contractor was Chips on the program. Through his management of the rehabilitation projects, he put his extensive understanding of construction to good use. Chip, however, was more than that. A defining feature of the program was his gregarious attitude, contagious energy, and witty exchanges with Joanna. His demo abilities, jokes, and willingness to get his hands filthy were all impressive. Each episode begins with a couple selecting a house they would like Chip to renovate, and then the program swiftly shifts gears to the meat of the matter, the rebuilding phase. At this point, the show's attraction grows even more due to the appearance of most of the obstacles and unexpected events. Everyone was eager to see how the pair dealt with these problems. After that, there's the reveal stage, which is everyone's favorite, the showgoers and the clients alike. Customers are usually in a good mood since they are so elated because their dream home seemed completely different. They received all the necessary backing while their programs had a profound impact on people's lives. American audiences were enchanted with Fixer Upper, which quickly became a huge phenomenon. Everyone was captivated by Chip and Joanna's heartfelt romance, their unique style of design, and of course, Chip's irresistible charisma. There were several bumps on the road despite the show's popularity. Chip and Joanna were exhausted from their hectic shooting schedule and the never-ending home renovations. More time with their expanding family of 5 children was something else they yearned for. Having learned to value their family more than their stardom, the two have often turned back when it seemed they were losing focus on what was really important. After 5 fruitful seasons of Fixer Upper, Chip and Joanna made the tough choice to step away for a little in 2017. They were finding it difficult to juggle filming for the program with their many other business commitments. They made their family life a top priority and looked into other creative opportunities. This is at least what Chip and Joanna claimed to be their rationale. Their departure from the program has led some to speculate that a dispute with the producers was the catalyst for their decision to leave. However, there was no slowdown in activity after I stopped appearing on television. While Chip was managing Magnolia Homes, they continued to grow their brand. They expanded their commercial empire to include a Waco shop, Magnolia Journal, a lifestyle magazine, and Magnolia Market Silos, a restaurant. Other than that, Chip was rather imaginative. He and Joanna collaborated on many publications that showcased their shared aesthetic and offered advice on home improvement. Even acting was something he dabbled with cameos in a few of TV movies. The duo certainly left an impact on their fans when they first began, but they didn't always have it easy. In particular, Chip's involvement in many scandals tarnished his reputation. It seems he may have gotten filthy while climbing the corporate ladder. Even before the couple became famous on television, they were running a successful company under Magnolia and seemed to be heading in the right direction. If we're being really honest, however, the program did contribute to the company's expansion and the subsequent increase in revenues. However, they failed miserably as solo performers when it came to growing Magnolia. The company also had additional investors. You may think of them as their collaborators. But just as they were set to go on their television trip, Chip pulled a fast one on them. It was said that Chip managed to persuade all of their business partners to sell him $2,500 worth of shares in the firm. The partners were unaware of anything and voluntarily left because of the circumstances. But once Chip landed the contract on HGTV, the company's fortunes began to turn. People started buying the brand's items in droves once it began to appear on the program. The ex-partners quickly caught wind of the true situation as profits began to pour in. They were not going to overlook the fact that Chip had likely arranged everything to get them out of the way. The result was a lawsuit they took out against Chip, claiming insider trading and seeking $1 million in damages. Despite the partners' best efforts, the case ultimately went to Chip in 2020. Since they sold him their shares, he had no right to take from them. But as word got out, some people's perspectives shifted from an ethical one. Even though Chip didn't steal from his business partners, he certainly took advantage of their trust in him, giving the impression that he was an opportunist. There was nothing he could do to fix this, and it had a significant impact on his reputation. Chip decided to sue his business associates in a countersuit, claiming that they had tarnished his reputation. Ultimately, they decided to settle out of court, and no one knows the specifics. There was already an impression of him, and he had to learn to live with it, no matter how much he tried to erase it. In 2018, Gaines once again got himself in hot water with the EPA, as if that weren't bad enough. A number of infractions found during construction were the root cause of the problem. They did anything to imply that Chip would care more about his bottom line than his customers' well-being. The pair wasted little time in seeking a solution to improve the show's reputation after this embarrassing incident. The lead-based paints used on the houses the couple was renovating were the main source of their problems. Houses constructed before to 1978 often made use of lead paint. Nonetheless, lead poisoning is very dangerous, particularly for youngsters. The EPA's Renovation, Repair and Painting (RRP) rule was developed under the Toxic Substances Control Act to safeguard public health. Renovations using lead paint must adhere to certain protocols outlined in this regulation, such as the containment of dust, the use of trained renovators, and the use of appropriate disposal techniques. Reportedly, after examining video from many seasons, the EPA became aware of possible lead paint violations on Fixer Upper. On the episode, they found 33 refurbished houses that didn't seem to have followed the EPA's Lead Safe Work guidelines. This sparked worries that the program might be inadvertently encouraging risky home improvement methods, putting viewers at risk, especially those who are motivated to do it themselves. Magnolia Homes, Chip and Joanna Gaines's firm, and the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, settled their differences after the latter's inquiry. In regards to the specifics, the couple was fined $40,000 for their violation of the RRP rule, and Magnolia Homes consented to pay the fine. Moreover, Magnolia Homes made a remarkable commitment to their community of Waco, Texas, by committing an extra $160,000 towards a lead paint abatement program. Their goal was to re-establish faith in their work. Finding and fixing lead paint problems in houses and other places where children congregate was the goal of this campaign. To better educate the audience on the problem and recommended practices, the next edition of the program was devoted to talking about lead paint and the possible consequences. Above and above all else, the most important objective was to prevent a recurrence of similar incidents. Because of this, Magnolia Homes instituted a method to monitor compliance with the EPA's RRP requirements so that any future restorations would be in line with these standards. As part of this, we trained our employees and subcontractors better and kept better records. Even if it didn't stop Fixer Upper, the event made viewers wonder whether reality TV programs should be showing dangerous hobbies. It demonstrated how important it is to follow safety protocols and have open lines of communication even in the hectic broadcast industry. In 2018, we brought up the fact that the pair had stepped away from TV for a while. Everyone assumed that was it for the program, but they tried to revive it later in 2020, but the coronavirus stopped production. What made this case unique, however, was that Magnolia would be supervising the production rather than attempting a comeback via its former producers. The couple's decision to start their own production firm adds weight to the speculation that they were never really on good terms with their former bosses. They chose to go on with the concert anyhow after all that. After a long hiatus, Chip and Joanna returned to TV in 2021 with Fixer Upper. Welcome back. This new program used a similar structure, but it had a unique spin. The lovers turned a rundown motel in Waco, Texas into a breathtaking resort in the latest episode. Fixer Upper fans all across the globe were ecstatic when the show returned. It was proof that Chip and Joanna's enchantment was still very much alive. They have been successfully producing their own programs from the beginning, which they still manage. As a renowned TV celebrity, prosperous entrepreneur, doting parent, and spouse, Chip Gaines is still very much alive and well today. But Chip did something in 2021 that shook his followers to their core again. This time, everyone was so worked up because they were afraid Chip was about to meet his maker. The problem arose when Chip shared a photo of himself with a buzz cut. It was assumed by some that he had been ill with cancer. Expectedly, heartfelt comments began to circulate, with several individuals praying and wishing for his recovery. A death rumor spread rapidly because Chip was slow to dispel the story. He was believed to have died of cancer, according to the public. Clarifying the facts was crucial at that juncture. The Gaines family was really just on a mission to aid children with cancer. They had taken an ambassadorial role with St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. He shaved his head and made wigs for kids who had lost their hair from chemotherapy. This revelation not only reassured his admirers, but it also revealed his charitable work and the positive impact he has been having on people's lives. More than $300,000 was raised for children fighting cancer as a result of the campaign. Even in this day and age, Chip Gaines continues to be a cherished TV host, prosperous businessman, and doting father. Joanna, his wife, is still at his side as they grow their enterprises. They undoubtedly had more time to gather their thoughts after stepping away from television. Magnolia, founded by Chip and Joanna Gaines, has become a lifestyle empire. Magnolia Market silos, together with a bakery, restaurant, and many vacation homes, now make up their Waco empire. Their own television network, Magnolia Network, which features a range of lifestyle programs, was also founded by them. Since making a triumphant comeback to television in 2021, the network has also begun broadcasting Fixer Upper. Family life is Chip and Joanna's first priority, no matter how hectic their schedules become. They have 5 children and are quite outspoken about their beliefs and their plans to provide a loving home for them. Following his near loss of his kid in a throng, Chip came to understand the value of his family. Philanthropy has brought Chip and Joanna fame. A number of initiatives dear to their hearts get their active support. Above all else, their support for St. Jude's Hospital has been invaluable. Millions of people are still moved by Chip and Joanna Gaines's skill, charm, and commitment to family. What is next for Chip is the next big question. You won't need to look very far to see that he's now holding a lot in his hands. The Magnolia Empire's success extends well beyond the realm of television. Chip and Joanna may look at making more varied programming now that Magnolia Network is producing their show. They could go more deeply into home improvement projects, try their hand at new design endeavors, or even star in family-centric reality series. The Magnolia name is ripe with opportunity. Possible future plans for Chip and Joanna include opening more shops, introducing new products, or even franchising their business. Their total net worth is estimated to be $50 million. This is a result of everything they have accomplished over the years. Being well known for hosting a very successful TV program, they may want to seek into mentoring options that will assist others aspiring to follow in their footsteps. There is little doubt that Chip Gaines's adventure is only beginning. He has an entrepreneurial drive, is creative, and loves his family. We can't wait to watch where his future ventures take him and his family. The public's opinion of Chip is affected by the many scandals in which he has been implicated, so we hope he begins to improve. Your company, while we delve into Chip Gaines's incredible story, is much appreciated. Leave a comment telling us what you think, whether you like Fixer Upper or just think Chip is charming and hardworking. For more motivational videos like this, hit that like button and subscribe.